with things a little tight, maybe they say, look, we need more draft capital. We need to just at least explore what could we possibly get for Micah Parsons. Now, I'll start with you, Sean, because you seem very eager to talk about this topic.
I'm not eager. I like to go into Friday smooth. I don't want the Cowboys Mafia to sit there. Don't even name the people because I don't want to give them more attention. When I see them in person, I'll give them plenty of attention. Since they like to type and tweet so big and bad. If I ever see them, if they ever get credentialed to the things that we go to.
You think you don't. Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Why the you lying? Why?
And I just got one more thing to say. How about them Cowboys?
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, back with another video on the daytime soap opera we love so much, called the Dallas Cowboys. So if you're DC for life and want to do me a solid, hit that like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. I wasn't going to do a video on this, but it kept ringing in my ears, Cowboys Nation. I actually remember saying that the smoke that Dak Prescott was getting because he was in a contract year, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons would also receive that same smoke when they started contract negotiations with the top three. And like clockwork, let the slander begin. On Friday's episode of Shan and RJ on 105.3 The Fan, the guys talked about Micah Parsons and what they could potentially get for him via trade. Shan did also have some choice words for Cowboys Mafia that I'll talk about in my raw and uncut portion, so make sure you stick around for that. Anyhow, let's go ahead and take a listen to what Shan had to say, and y'all know what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back and we're gonna unpack my raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, take a listen.
What if you found out they said, hey, we're going to move on from Micah, we need the draft capital.
Yeah.
We're operating under this assumption where they go, we need cost-effective players, got to make a move. What is the return in general you have that you say, I want to get this back for Micah for me to say, okay, you at least got the value for him?
I got to get 2 1s or a 1 and 2 2s. Something like that. It's got to be 2 1s or a 1 and 2 2s. And I am the king of draft capital return on this show. None of these idiots.
You nailed Justin Fields.
I was wrong. I should have said Diggs. I don't understand why it was, oh my God, a ripoff. Stephon Diggs was never getting a first-round pick. But for me to feel okay about the compensation, 2 firsts, 1 and 2 2s, or something that would equate to that value on the chart.
Choppy, what is the value?
High. I need one of those second-round picks. High up. Real high.
It's 2 1s. It's the Khalil Mack compensation.
I'm glad you brought that up. The best comp you can find in recent history for what it would be like to move on from Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is 25.
Why aren't you doing this topic about CeeDee Lamb? Moving on.
I mean, we can absolutely do it. You're going to have to pay Micah Parsons more money. I think Micah Parsons is going to cost you more. If you're looking at cost efficiency and look, if we're being honest, who do I think is a better locker room presence for them? It's CeeDee Lamb, and I don't think it's close.
To keep it a buck, if you are really considering getting rid of your franchise quarterback, I'm a fine believer in letting CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons walk for even more draft picks. This way, if we need to surround a new quarterback with talent, we have the draft capital to make that happen. So I can understand why this is a topic of discussion, even though there are quotes from Jerry Jones himself that say the contrary. But when can we believe what Jerry Jones says? He said he's all in on getting the contracts done, even though Micah Parsons is scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent in 2026 after the Cowboys exercised his 5th-year option. I ain't got a problem with the questions or the take from 105.3 The Fan. Let's do a little exploring if we plan on doing a soft reboot. It's when the takes start to ignite and become hot takes that make me shake my head. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the second clip I got for you. Boy, it's the hot of the hot. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
I have heard from way too many people this offseason. Way too many. I'm talking about at least 4 different people that Micah has worn thin there. Now, I don't know how much is true and how much it actually hurts. I don't know whether this is the behavior of a typical superstar. I don't know how damaging it is, but all I do know is this. I've heard from way too many people. If Micah Parsons was out of there, there'd be a decent amount of people inside the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco smiling or breathing a sigh of relief. That is my hot take statement that to me is really close to factual about just dealing with him.
Shan has heard from way too many people, that being 4 people and all, but he heard that, and I quote, if Micah Parsons was out of there, there'd be a decent amount of people inside the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco smiling or breathing a sigh of relief. That's my hot take on the statement. That to me is really close to factual about just dealing with him. Him being Micah Parsons. Y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Why, Shan? Why? Why bring this up? It wasn't like Thursday that you went out and interviewed or spoke with these people who would breathe a sigh of relief if Micah Parsons was gone. To me, and this is just my own take, this is my own opinion, this has been accumulating over the years. Case building, as some would put it. And now that Micah Parsons is within a couple of years, the slanderous takes start to rear their ugly head. The negativity starts to be reported conveniently. While these men go into this organization and put it all on the line for said organization, this type of talk Cowboys Nation has to endure every single time somebody comes up for a contract. This is where the people with no credentials but love for this team as much, if not more than you, come into play. The Dallas Cowboy content creators. This is why some of Cowboys Nation thinks that 105.3 The Fan is an extension of the Dallas Cowboys, that they do the bidding of Jerry Jones. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but why be so quick to run a story, a segment, or an interview about a player that you wouldn't about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys? It's not like they had the person that administered Jerry Jones' paternity test on the radio or something. That would be cutting your nose off despite your face, huh, fellas? The Dallas Cowboy content creators have no one to answer to. They can give their raw emotion because they don't have the extra added pressure of not having Jerry Jones on their channel every week during the season. They don't have the pressure of getting their credentials taken from them if they say something that doesn't align with the Jones family. Welcome to the new media. Then the blatant threat to whoever you were speaking of, Shan. You just spoke some on-site language. You know what on-site means? I'm going to quote you. You said, when I see them in person, I will give them plenty of attention. Then you went to say that they don't have the credentials to go to the same places that y'all go to. To keep it a buck, no one would dare get involved with you at an event where credentials were needed. That's just super nuts to say. To keep it a thou wow, these people do have the credentials to be at the same store you do. They have the credentials to be at the same theater you go to. So I don't know if it's wise to threaten Cowboys Nation with lots of attention. Some members might make you stand 10 toes down on those words if they bump into you. I'm just saying, yo, keep it a buck. As for Micah Parsons, as I was making this video, my phone got a news update. I bet you can't guess what it was, Cowboys Nation. It was the headline that said, "Is Micah Parsons' behavior wearing thin at the Star?" I wonder who that could be. I also saw an ex-Dallas Cowboy tweet in response to this. Des Bryant tweeted, "Aw shit, I know how this go. Shake my effing head. At Micah Parsons 11. This what happens whenever it's time to get paid." there was somebody that was going hard for Jerry Jones in Des Bryant's comment section. It must have either been Jerry Jones or 105.3 The Fan's burner account or something. But the thing these people don't realize is that we see with our own eyes this happening every time one of the top-rated players is scheduled to get a payday for the Dallas Cowboys. You will hear slander from the 4- and 3-letter networks, and you will hear slander from the radio station. We see it every time Dak is set to get paid. You hear it with D-Law when he was going to get paid. Zeke Elliott, Des Bryant, Zach Martin, and the list goes on. Now I'm curious if Stephen A. Smith is going to jump on this bandwagon after smiling in Micah Parsons' face on his podcast. I sure hope not. I actually hope that Stephen A. is going to have that get all your money type of mentality when it comes to Micah and CD. Cowboys Nation, I'll leave you with this. I understand what J Tuck was saying when he was comparing being a Dallas Cowboy content creator to being an X-Men. Regular media and new media are mutants. You have some content creators who want to live amongst everyday people and be treated as such. You have other content creators who want to expose the Dallas Cowboys and its owner. You have some that work with the system and take shots at the ones who just want to keep Cowboys Nation informed. Some will use their platforms to build up. Some will use their platforms to tear down. There then comes a time when some mutants get tired of the disrespect coming from the established mutants and become Magneto or a part of that side. They get tired of the way their team gets represented by the media with credentials and decide to follow the Cowboys on a deeper level to bring Cowboys Nation the type of Dallas Cowboys news they want and deserve. As everyone has seen, people don't need to play in the NFL in order to have an opinion on the NFL. Also, people don't have to have a degree in journalism to cover the NFL and be accurate. I called this during my Raw and Uncut video, that Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb need to watch out for the slander, because if they can slander Dak Prescott every time it's time for him to get paid, they will do it to them as well. No Diddy. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What did you think about what Sean for 105.3 The Fan had to say? Do you think this radio station does the bidding of the Jones family? Let's have that conversation in the comments section. If you're digging the content and want to help me get it out to even more Dallas Cowboy fans, because the algorithm is shitting on me ever since I had to take some time off for my wife, drop a like on the video and please share this content. If you are DC for life and can sniff out a hit piece when you see one, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you be notified whenever I go live or whenever I release a video. New media is some of the only media that people consume nowadays. The reason being is that Cowboys content creators are not bought by anyone. We don't have to answer to anyone except for the ones that rock with our content. We can be 100% truthful and don't have to publish hit pieces to please the Jones family. Let's keep it a buck. Jerry Jones ain't coming on that radio station for nothing. So until otherwise proven, Cowboys Nation is going to be on your head, because it looks like your station is being bought off by the ones who want so badly to get this negative narrative out. It doesn't take credentials or a journalism degree to see it. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out.